massage course on Saturday. You're going to laugh at this page, but we've never been that taught to be that anatomy kind of obsessed or whatever in our teacher training course. It wasn't focused on anatomy essentially, and I just feel as if I'm obsessed after studying the muscles for 2 days of the legs because of the tie-in with yoga. So yeah, I am obsessed with it at the moment, and you'll probably find that coming across in my classes. So this is where the class has been inspired from. I think it can only do us all good to stretch out the lower legs anyway and to really focus on these areas. So without much further ado, we're going to get started. Hold on, I've got a message here. What was that?
It's from me. Just to say I might need to leave a bit early, and you've gone and planned yoga for running. I'll see how I got on for time. I just thought I'd message you rather than interrupt.
No worries, Crystal. Thank you very much. That's the first time I've noticed that coming up before. It's obviously I was just looking at the screen. No worries at all. You need to go, just slip away and don't worry about it. All right.
I will do. Thanks so much, Jackie. Thanks.
No worries. Enjoy the class. There we are. You'll get the main bit out of it anyway. So we're going to start with our breathing. We're going to bring ourselves into half hero pose. So for this class, you need all your props you can get. So cushions if you don't have yoga blocks, cushions if you don't have a bolster, cushions, pillows, books, whatever you've got. And what we're going to do is come into a kneeling position. And then the full of this pose is you would bring your bum in between your heels and come all the way down, and just threading the outside of your heels along the outside of your thighs. That, a lot of people's knees are not happy with that. So what we do is just build the pose up. So you can take 1 block, 2 blocks, whatever you're comfortable with. Bring it, I would say, the long way in between your bum and just test it out, drawing your heels out to the side. Now this pose is not for everybody. If you're uncomfortable when you come into it, I would just suggest any comfortable upright seated position. But why I've chosen this pose is I really want to start getting into the quadricep muscles. So really stretching them out. The little muscle that runs along there as well, it's called the sartorius, and it can get really tight as well. So this pose starts to open those areas. Also, when we do recline, we're going to take it into our hip flexors, which can get really tight, whether we're sitting, walking, running, or whatever. So find the pose that fits your body. I think we're all there. Wiggle about and just make yourself as comfortable as you can. Take a moment to really feel the pose and notice if there is any even tiny bit of discomfort, and if there is, make an adjustment so that you can really kind of commit to your breathing practice and come into stillness. We're going to take yoga for the hands tonight, so a mudra as we know it. And the mudra that I've chosen for this evening is the Yoni mudra, so upside down triangle. Thumbs together and your 2 pointer fingers together, and you can gently draw the rest of your fingers up, and then you're just going to place this down below your navel with the apex of the triangle pointing down towards your tailbone, down towards the ground, to the root of your body. Once you've adopted that, the mudra, everything is optional tonight. Whatever doesn't fit with you, don't do. Whatever doesn't feel right, don't do. Every night is different, so just tailor this practice for your body and your energy, how you feel tonight. Start to close your eyes down, soften your shoulders, but just gently try and feel that really nice upright position so that you can be nice and open and receiving for your practice. After you've closed your eyes down, just feel your jaw gently just loosen, your teeth perhaps unclench, and just let go of holding on to any of your facial muscles. Cast your eye, not your eye, your ear around the room, and just notice any sounds that you can hear, whether it's from within your house space or without. Once you come into stillness and silence, any kind of noises that you're used to can sound as if somebody's just turned the volume off on them. So just notice anything at all and just drink in all the details of those noises that you can hear. And then when you're ready, just allow those noises to be there, but allow them to be white noise. They're not going to distract you, you know they're there. Nothing's going to steal your peace and your time for you this evening. Notice your body, the shape that you've placed your body in already, and how it feels within your body. Notice your shins connected to the air, and just feel the ground below you supporting you, the earth supporting your pose. Then when you're ready, just start to draw your attention and your awareness to your breathing. You're just linking into that breath as it comes in and out, almost just tracing it and giving it your undivided attention, full awareness. If anything draws your awareness away from your breath, just bring it back in again. As soon as you notice it, turn your attention back to that breath and just find it again. So at the moment, we're not adjusting, we are just noticing. And then whenever it feels right, once you've really given it your focus, start to carve out a deeper breath. So just invite the breath a wee bit deeper into the body. Just feel the body starting to open. Feel space starting to be created within the body just through those lovely, long, spacious breaths. There's absolutely no rush here at all. And I'm going to just suggest a visualization for you. So just allow it to form if it does, if not, just let it go. So as you breathe in, perhaps just visualise that you're breathing in a thread of incandescent white light or golden light, whatever feels good. But whatever it is, it's fresh, it's cleansing, and it's absolutely beautiful to look at. As you breathe in, draw that light in deep to the body. And as you exhale, just watch that thread of breath lengthen out of your nostrils all the way in front of you. As you sit there breathing in and out, turn your attention to the shape you've made with your hands, your upside down triangle. And then as you inhale, just visualise that colour of light, whatever it is, filling up your triangle. So as you inhale, you just see the apex starting to be coloured in, traced in with that light. Once you reach the top of the inhalation, the base of your triangle, you start to exhale and you just watch that light filter all the way back out again. And just stay with that visualization if it has formed. And then just watch it filter out. And now perhaps just move on from that. So with that bright light, you're breathing in, you're drawing in peace, joy, gratitude. All the things that we have in abundance. You're just really drawing that all in and filling your body, your triangle up with that. As you watch your triangle filter out, as you visualise it filter out, you're just letting go of any negativity, of anything that is not serving you, that you don't need. Any emotions, frustrations, you're just releasing them and letting them go. And then when you start to feel the inhalation, you just fill up with all that goodness. And then when you're ready, take one more. You're going to bring your hands in the bolster. If you've not got a bolster, bricks or anything, or even if you can get your hands down if it feels comfortable, when you graze your fingertips to the air. And then very gently, you're just going to start to draw your chest and your heart up towards the ceiling, just opening your shoulders and taking your gaze up. And just take a couple of breaths into this kind of modification. If it's not open to you, perhaps just bringing your hands behind you and sitting in that upright position and just opening up that way. Just feeling the full front of the body being open. So I'm going to give you the offer to stay here, or perhaps you're going to come all the way down onto the base of your hands. You're going to inhale and just gently push your hips, your navel, your chest all the way up, and just breathe into this deeper version of your pose. Not for everybody, these are all options. You find which one that fits your body today. With every breath in, just feel your body opening, feel that space that you are opening up to, feel it being created. And also just turn your attention to what muscles we're really getting into here. So you've got all your quadricep muscles, your sartorius, as we spoke about. Your ankles are getting attention here. They can become tight with walking. Your anterior tibialis, I'm just showing off now because I know the names of muscles now. I've learned them again. And then when you're ready, gently just draw yourself all the way back down. Walk your hands forward. And we're going to come into an ankle stretch. So hands are just in front of your knees. Lift your bum up and off any kind of prop that was underneath there. And then draw your heels together and zip your thighs all the way up. That's it. Option one, we're going to take first of all, just to start two things. So we're going to get into the shins muscle, that muscle that I was talking about, your anterior tibialis, and also your ankles as well, into any tightness there. So you're going to bring your hands behind you and just gently draw your knees up and then release back down again. So once we've got that there, we're going to wait for the breath. We're going to inhale, draw the knees up towards the chest, and then release back down again. So your knees might not come up as far as mine, they come up further. You're just feeling your way into this and just feeling all those muscles that we spoke about, just opening and releasing. We're going to do it for 5 if you've got that there. And then once you have finished your 5 there, you're going to walk your hands forward, just in front of your knees, come onto all fours and tuck your toes under. Once you've done that there, you're just going to gently lift up, just releasing that pose off into a little toe stand. So heels together, feet zipped up, inner thighs drawn up, and you're just feeling that little toe stand. Option to stay here with your hands connected, or option to stay with your hands connected, but bringing your knees down and just working into your toes and just releasing any tension there. Once you've chosen your option for this one, close your eyes down and just breathe into it for your 5 breaths. Perhaps coming back to that visualization of that golden or white triangle and just breathing in and out, threading your pranayama, your meditation through your practice this evening and drawing in all the goodness from that. If you perhaps didn't connect to the pranayama, you're just using whatever you need to, perhaps a mantra. Close your eyes down and climb into your child's pose. Allow everything to be released here. If there's distractions coming in to your awareness, allow yourself to focus here to release those distractions. Would somebody just give me a thumbs up if they can hear me okay now that I've got my microphone on? Brilliant. Thank you, Jackie. Thanks. Good. And anybody else who did? So with this yin practice, I like to thread the pranayama that we started with all the way through, and to make this into not just a yin practice, but an actual meditation as well. So you have the option to do that at each point when we come into stillness within these poses. Soften your shoulders and soften your face. Let go of holding on to anything. You don't need to hold on to anything. Just allow your body to release the way it wants to release. Five more breaths in your child's pose. Use this pose to just step down, to just step into that zone. And then when you're ready, when you gently just draw yourself up to all fours. To begin with, and then bring your head down, allow your head to dangle. Option to take opposite hand to opposite elbow if that feels good. And just to let go of holding on to anything. Allow yourself to just cascade down and just allow tension to drip out. If it feels good, which I always think it does in this pose, you can perhaps just sway from side to side. And letting go of the head and the neck. So we are focusing on the hamstrings, the back of the body here with this one. So whenever you're ready, if it feels good, you can start to straighten your legs just slightly. And just feel, if you feel tugging at the back of your legs, if it's really tight, bend into the knees. And just allow that tugging to be released slightly. So we are leaning in and breathing into the resistance. But we're not pushing our body into any shape that it is given as the signals it's not ready to go for. How relaxed can you be? Let go of the head and the neck. It's always a really good tester if you're holding on to anything there. Notice if there's any tension in the lower back as well. And just use those rocks, those little sways to release into that area too. Take a final few breaths here. And then whenever you're ready, release your elbows. We're going to tuck our toes out to the side. So there's more than one entry point to this pose. This is your first option here. You're going to just gently bring your heels in towards your bum and then make your way into your Malasana squat. So once you get in there, elbows are going to come in towards the inner knees, the inside of the thighs, and hands are coming into the Anjali Mudra, just at the centre of your chest. And what we're doing is leaning into this resistance. So you're rocking over the knuckles of your toes and also your heels. And you're just rocking back and forward, just leaning gently into the resistance of the adductors, the inner thighs, starting to open up the hips. Soften your shoulders, soften your face, and just notice what there is to notice about this pose, about your body in this shape. If you notice you're curving into it, see if you can just elongate through the spine, that's it, and then just soften down through the shoulders. If you want to take your mudra in this pose, you can bring your hands down to the earth if that's available. Even if you can't reach down, you can grab onto something and just gently play with this mudra here. Drawing in that peace, that strength into your practice. So from here, we're going to open the shoulders as well. And again, these options are not for everybody, so just see if it fits your body. With your right arm, you're going to thread it around your right shin. And then just rotate the palm of your hand in and reach back. Left elbow releases over the left knee, and you just bring this back here. So option to see if you can find your fingertips and find the bind. If that is not going to happen, you can just gently dangle that back and just open up that left shoulder and also the right shoulder, taking a little twist round as well. Once you've got into the shape, just close your eyes down and take your 3 breaths and breathe into the resistance or the tightness that you can feel through the shape your body's in. Drawing your total awareness to where you feel that resistance and breathing into it. And just through awareness and the breath, you can start to open up the body, almost like the key to the lock. Once you've taken your 3 breaths here, wait for your next inhalation and just release your hands all the way back to the front. Walk your hands forward and gently, just with your fingertips, like you're crawling forward. You're drawing your chest into it first of all, and then if your back is happy with it, you're going to allow your chin to come down to your chest, push your heart back to your spine, and just allow your head to come down and allow your back to round. 3 breaths here. Just releasing off the shoulders, top of the back. And then when you're ready, on your next inhalation, curl those fingertips all the way back through, and we'll just even it all off. So left hand starts to snake around the left shin. Once you get so far round, you'll have to rotate your palm round. And then release your right hand over and see if you can get the bind on the other side. And remember, both sides are totally different. Remember to soften your face, your shoulders. You're not putting too much tension into it, trying to get into the pose. You're just breathing in, seeing where you get to. Really nice, everybody. Try and keep that nice long spine. And then once you have finished your 3 breaths here, release that bind off. Bring your hands back through to centre. And we're going to start by coming up all the way to standing. So we're going to take another forward fold, but we're going to get into these side muscles with the forward fold. So what I would like you to do is to turn and come lengthways on your mat. I'm going to take my socks off as well, just so that I get a nice grip on the mat. Option to do that if you wish. So start with your feet hip width apart, and then just take your feet out slightly. So feet are parallel with each other to start off with, and then what I want you to do is to just gently duck your toes in towards each other and your heels out to the side. Where we're getting into is this little muscle that runs down here and over the top of the foot and comes down and connects to one of your toes, and it can get really tight. If you feel along that muscle, you can feel sometimes like little gritty bits, and that is one of the muscles you use when you're walking or running, so it can become really, really tight. Bring your hands onto your hips and just gently start to push your bum back, chest forward, and you're coming into a forward fold. Knees are soft, knees are not locked out. You've got those nice little coils, springs in your knees, and you're coming down. So notice where you come to. Also, we're getting into the hamstrings as well and into the adductors. Option to keep your hands on your hips and you stay here. Option to bring your hands down towards the earth and keep that bum pushed back and keep breathing into where you feel the resistance from this stretch. Toes can come further in if you have that flexibility to do that. If you feel as if you're dangling or your hands can't get down, you can bring your blocks into the party as well and bring them out in front of you. If Mary's got opposite hand, oh no, she's not. You can also take opposite hand to opposite elbow like you did in a forward fold and just release into it that way. So many options. You close your eyes down and you've got 5 breaths. Breathe in, draw that awareness to where your body needs it, where it needs opened. And you can also breathe that white light into it as well, that cleansing energy, that releasing energy. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale and draw all the way back up again. You're going to rotate round to the front of your mat. So coming on to the ball of your back foot and bending into that front knee. From here, we're going to draw that back knee down towards the earth. If you've got blocks, bring them into this as well. You're going to bring your blocks into the inside or your hands into the inside. You're going to start to walk your foot forward and then bend into that front knee and gently just press your hips forward till you start to feel that stretch. So coming in about 50% to start off with. Keep your chest lifted, keep that nice long spine and just breathe into any resistance that you feel in this pose, in your lizard pose. Once you have kind of set the blueprint for the pose and you've taken a few breaths just to feel it, you can gently just lean slightly more into it. So just making sure that knee doesn't come over the toes. And if you do come too far in, please just gently come out of it. I'm going to give you lots of options here to step into this pose deeper if you wish to go. But please, there's not any need to go deeper if you are feeling a strong stretch. So just listen to what your body's telling you. And remember, when we're working with the hips, we can sometimes get quite frustrated and angry. So that is completely natural. See if you can just breathe that away. So we've been here for a little while now. You can stay here, or if you really want to go quite deep, you can tuck your back toe under and lift your back knee up and off. Hands are spread nice and wide, and you're just pressing forward. Is anybody taking that? I can't see the back leg. And Sharon's going for it. So this is getting us quite deep in. If you have lifted your back leg up, if at any time you need to come out, remember, just ease off and take it back a notch. And clench your shoulders and clench your face. Perhaps just bring a little smile to the face and breathe through the resistance. Smile through the resistance. If you really do want to take it in deeper, you can, for the last 5 breaths, if you want, you can come down on to your forearms. I'm not going there. And you would page. Very flexible hips. And last few breaths. And then when you're ready, gently draw that knee down if you took it and pull or draw your hips out of it. So before we take it anywhere else, we're going to bring our hands, our left hand to the outside of the left leg. You're going to heel toe your foot, your left foot into the centre. And you're going to just gently draw your hips back, using your blocks at the side of you if you've got them. And we're going to come into half monkey just to release out the hamstrings as well. So once you get there, knee underneath your hip, and you're drawing your inner thighs gently in together. You're really think about drawing the left hip piece back. So that little bit there, think about just drawing it back towards the back of the mat. And you're just squaring your hips towards the front. Your front leg is not locked out. Your knee has got those little springs on them again. Your toes can be flexed towards your face as well, and that will help to work deep back into the calf muscles and also into the back of the leg. Once you've got the shape, close your eyes down and breathe into the resistance you're being met with. Unclench those shoulders. If you've got blocks, you can stay nice and high. If you've not got blocks, think about drawing your chest forward to find that nice long spine. If you are finding frustration, if you're needing to fidget, quite often that can be a sign. See if you can breathe through it, or just make your adjustment and see if you can come back into stillness. Stillness is not for you tonight. You can perhaps just find a gentle flow, so drawing your chest down and then drawing back up again. And just making it into mindful movement. And take another breath here. And then when you're ready, we're going to bend into that front knee. Use your blocks if you've got them, bring them forward and gently bring your left knee back to meet your right knee. Bring your hands back down onto the earth And we're just going to gently release off with some cat and cow and with some hip mandalas. So we'll start the hip mandalas first of all. So you're gently just drawing your sit bones all the way out, drawing a circle in the air. If you just visualise that, and you're rotating round and round. And then you're going to take it in the other direction. So once you've gone 3 one way, you're taking it in the other way, and just notice anything that you feel there. Any little tension, clicks. And then once you've done that, bring yourself to a neutral position, shoulders over wrists, hands spread really nice and wide, and your knees are underneath your hips. Inhale and gently draw your bum up, drop your stomach down, invite your chest through, your gaze through, and find your cow pose. Wait for an exhalation, draw the tail under, push your navel to the spine, your heart follows it, and you find that nice rounded angry cat position, allowing your head to perhaps come down. One more, inhaling, tail up, stomach down, chest through, and then exhaling and drawing it all the way back down, closing your eyes down perhaps, just noticing whatever's there. Once you finish your cat and cow, you're going to bring your heels together, knees out wide if that's available, and bring yourself back to your child's pose for 3 breaths. And I want everything to soften here. Perhaps just draw your awareness to the left-hand side or your left leg and your right leg, just noticing any difference you can feel. One side that has had quite an intense stretch and the other one we've yet to do. So just feeling any differences. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back up to all fours. And we're going to step your right foot through. So if you've got blocks, mum, if you're using your blocks, just bring your hands onto your blocks. And then we're going to inhale and step that right foot through. Once you've got it through, bring your right hand to the inside and just walk your right foot forward. You'll almost start to feel the stretch happening. And then once you've got that kind of stretch going on, you can gently just draw your hips forward and lean into it as far as you want to come. So coming in nice and slow to begin with, taking a few breaths to breathe into it. And just seeing if the body's going to invite you to come any deeper. And we'll just walk it through again and step down into the pose. Unclench your shoulders and unclench your face. So when things become challenging, we can start to hold tension in other areas. So just draw your awareness and notice if you're doing that. And if you are, just soften those features. Once you've had your 3 breaths here, if you have got that invitation there, you feel that need, you can gently just draw your hips further in and just work into it a little bit deeper. And you're trying to just mirror what you did on the other side as well to keep everything balanced. And then once you've been here for, say, 4 to 5 breaths, if you wish, if you did it on the other side, you can tuck your back toe under and peel your back knee up and gently come into it a little bit deeper. If you're doing that, and clench your shoulders and your face, almost as if your inner leg of your right hand side is glued to your right arm as well. You're just drawing it in for this version. I know you all hate these clothes, the ones that come deep in. I hate it as well, but it's the ones we need. Release off these hips, legs. Last 3 breaths here. Perhaps coming onto the forearms if that is open to you for those last 3. See if you can really extend and breathe into that resistance. And then whenever you're ready, if you took that knee up and off, you're gently bringing it down. Draw your hips out, enjoy that release. Oh my God. And then bring your hand to the outside, your arm to the outside of your right leg, and just start to walk your right foot in towards the centre. Draw onto your heel and just gently, we're going to square our hips. Knees are soft, it's very easy to lock out in this, but we don't want to put any pressure on these joints. And you're drawing into the right hip piece, and then just drawing your left hip forward till you feel your hips kind of square. You can't see them, it doesn't matter, you just want to feel your way in. Have a glance back and just make sure that your left hip is over your left knee as well. My back toe is tucked under, you can see, but if it feels better for you, you can release onto the top of your foot. Again, just notice any tightness and breathe your way into, close your eyes down. If you feel fidgety or not at ease, you can take this into flow. So you're inhaling, drawing the chest up, feeling that space, and then exhaling and drawing down. And you just make it into that mindful movement. And it's really good because you turn in fidgeting or frustration, you turn it into kind of active movement, thoughtful movement. Last few breaths here. And then when you're ready, on an inhalation, gently draw yourself out of it, bending into that front knee. And we're just going to curtsy or bump off to the side once you come back and lengthen your legs out in front of you. Once you've got that there, you're drawing your toes in towards your face. You're walking onto your sit bones, so if you know you slouch into your lower back, if you're aware of that, take a cushion and place it underneath your back. You're going to just gently draw your heels out to the side. We're going to just draw almost as if you're trying to bring the soles of your feet together. They're never going to get together, but it's that movement of inversion, and it's just getting back into those side muscles as well, and also out of the ankles. While you sit there and breathe through it, I'm just going to go and see what the mad dog is barking at. Come here. Where's your food? So just gently release that off if you're still got that kind of inversion going on. Push your heels away, and then we're going to bring ourselves into butterfly pose. So if you've got your bolster, please have it to hand if you're going to use it for this pose. Soles of the feet connect together and knees out wide, and we're making this lovely shape of a diamond. And you can do that with your cushion underneath your bum as well. From there, you're going to thread your cushions or your bolster underneath your knees. Make sure you find your sit bones, and then just allow yourself to be supported. If you're not using any support, it's going to be quite intense. So if you really feel you want to come deep into the stretch, absolutely. But if not, just pad yourself out and ease in. We're going to take it into a forward fold, but before we do that, what I want you to do is to open your shoulders and your chest. So take your hands just behind you and see if you can find a clasp behind your lower back. Gently just allow your knuckles to rest on the earth below you. And then when you're ready, option 1 is here. If you can feel the shoulders tight, you're just working here with it, breathing into it. If you want more, you're going to gently just lift your gaze, so flip your gaze up and lift your heart and your chest up towards the ceiling. And you zip your lips together and you're just getting a lovely wee bit of release to the throat chakra as well. You're not dropping your head back because that would be too intense. You're just working into stretching through the neck. Close your eyes down and just send a breath to those shoulders. And then when you're ready, release that clasp in your hands. Make sure you're nice and high in your sit bones. Thread your arms, hands along your legs, perhaps giving them a little bit of massage, a little bit of effleurage. Just rubbing your hands along that muscle that we've been talking about in the legs. And then once you get your arms supported by your legs, you're going to gently just draw yourself forward into a really nice, nourishing forward fold. Close your eyes down. If you've got cushions as well, you can build this forward fold up to you and make it really nice and restorative. You deserve it after all of those hip openers, the dragons and your half monkey, your half splits. Allow everything else to slide away. Allow your body to soften and go where it needs to go. Send those messages that it's time to step down, to soften everything and relax. At any point, you've got a little while left, another 5 or 6 breaths here. If you wish to work deeper, you can gently peel your chest back up and off, remove your support, and just let your knees fall out to the side, but that's just an option. If you're happy where you are, just settle in for your next 5 breaths. Make them the longest, slowest breaths of your practice. Whenever you're ready, just take an inhalation to gently peel yourself back up and off. Draw your knees together, find the soles of your feet against the earth, and just release your base off to the side. Perhaps just keeping it handy for Shavasana. Walk your sit bones forward and bring yourself all the way down onto your back. So we're going to take 2 more poses here. You're going to start to bring your knees in towards your chest. And as you do that, you're going to thread your arms up the outside edges of your calves. Option 1 is to find your leggings perhaps and hold on to them. Option 2, the outer blades of your feet perhaps. And then start to draw your knees out to the side and you're going to rock from side to side. And just start to ease into your happy baby. Gently have your tail, your lower back peeled up and off, and your knees are drawn in towards your armpits. We do another version of this with the lower back connected, but for this one, the suggestion is to have the lower back peeled off and rocking back and forward. Close your eyes down and allow everything else to slide away. Move and do whatever feels good. You're just feeling your way into this pose again. And then whenever you're ready on an exhalation, just start to release the sides of your legs. Bring the soles of the feet back down to the earth, knees bent towards the ceiling, and just start to walk your feet out to the side of your mat. So nice wide stance with the feet. Hands come out to the side, palms face down. Take an inhalation, gently peel your tailbone up and replace your lower back, your sacrum, so it's got as much space against the mat as possible. And then when you're ready, on an exhalation, gently just drop both of your knees over towards the right hand side. Just allow yourself to rest there. Option 1 is here. Option 2, if you want to work deeper, so releasing that left quad, the hip flexor, almost into the IT band, not that we really need that released. You can take your right foot and gently place it on your left knee. And it just helps to work deeper into this stretch. And that is just an option. Lead into any resistance from that quadricep muscle. So when we're working into here, we have the top quadricep muscle, which is called the vastus femoris. And that one gets really tight. So just breathe into it. Then we're going to work over to the other side. So your next inhalation, draw both of your knees back through center. So release that foot off from the outside edge of your knee if you took that, and draw all the way back through center. And then when you're ready, draw both knees over towards the left hand side and just notice how different one side feels to the other. Again, if you want to work deeper, you're connecting your foot, the outside of your left foot, to the outside of your right knee. And that takes it in quite deep, so just work tentatively with that. Last few breaths here. And then whenever you're ready, you are completely ready for your Shavasana. So draw your knees back in. Perhaps place a bolster underneath the backs of your knees. So to allow your lower back to be really connected to the earth. And start to build your little sanctuary, your little Shavasana sanctuary. Pad yourself out and get yourself as comfortable as you possibly can. Get yourself warm and cozy, rainy cold night, and then climb on in. So just take this time to allow all that space. Allow your body to settle into that space, that abundance that you've created. Perhaps the first couple of breaths or 3 rounds of breaths, you can work with that triangle breath. Just allowing yourself to step back down. And clench your teeth and soften your jaw. Just visualize your relaxation, your muscles just softening, almost like a domino effect. So as you let go of your facial muscles, just feel that feeling of softness cascade down through your shoulders, your chest, your back. And as you feel everything soften and relax, it almost feels as if the mat is just coming up to meet you, to hug you. Just allow yourself to slide on down, step down another few levels into softness and relaxation. As we open our body physically, we also open ourselves mentally up to all that abundance, opportunity, to gratitude, to joy. Releasing the tightness, any of the negativity, and just making space for all that goodness. And as you lie there just floating in your Shavasana, I'm just going to read you some of the magical words of Nikki Benass. So just allow the words to float over you and allow yourself just to float there. It's called blessed. Beautiful friend, never forget how blessed you are. Never forget that even when things feel like they're falling apart, even when it feels like the world is crumbling, even when it feels like you're in an endless season of winter, there are so many blessings around you. I promise you that there are. And know that reminding yourself of your blessings doesn't mean that your troubles aren't there. It doesn't mean that you should ignore your hurts. Looking for your blessings means that even when you're in the darkest storms, you remember that sunshine is above those dark clouds. It means that even amidst the pain, you remember all the reasons to keep fighting strong. It means that you acknowledge your hurts for what they are, but that you acknowledge your blessings for what they are too. Precious words this woman speaks. When you're ready, just start to draw yourself back to your physical body. Start by finding your toes and your fingers. Remember, you can always stay in Shavasana after any of the classes. If you wish to come back, I'll just talk you back. Once you find your toes and your fingers, you create a little bit of movement into those areas. Find your ankles and then your wrists. And then just start to rotate round and round. Movement. Getting your energy moving again. Perhaps drawing those knees now into the chest. Placing your hands gently on the tops of your knees. And just starting to rotate the knees round and round. Into all areas of your back. So move your knees where you can feel all those different areas of your back and just massage yourself against the back of the mat. Get into any little nooks and crannies. And then whenever you're ready, allow your knees to fall to whatever side feels good. Make a pillow with your hands or your cheeks and just rest there for the next couple of breaths. And just feel your body in this state of relaxation, this innate place where it should be. And don't allow anything else to come in yet, and just feel and experience it. And then on an inhalation, if you wish, just push yourself back up to seated. Your hands to heart center or whatever mudra feels right for your hands just now. Thank you for joining me for your leg flow, your runner's flow, your yin yoga flow on Thursday night. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.